Welcome, thrill seekers, to a world of spine-chilling tales and hair-raising adventures. Gather around for a frightful journey into the unknown as we delve deep into the realm of scary stories. Buckle up, hold on tight, and get ready to experience a rush of terror like never before. In the remote deserts of the American Southwest, there is an ancient legend about a shape-shifting creature known as the Skinwalker. According to the legend, the Skinwalker is a malevolent being that can transform into any animal it desires and has the power to inflict harm on humans. For years, people have told stories about the Skinwalker, but most have dismissed it as nothing more than a myth. That is, until a group of young college students decided to investigate the legend for themselves. It started as a simple camping trip. The group of 5 friends, all in their early 20s, packed up their tents and supplies and set out to explore the desert. They had heard about the Skinwalker legend and thought it would be fun to try and find evidence of its existence. As they hiked deeper into the desert, they began to notice strange things happening around them. They heard howls in the distance and saw shadows moving in the darkness. They shrugged it off as their imaginations, but deep down, they knew something was off. One night, as they were gathered around the campfire, they heard a rustling in the bushes nearby. They shined their flashlights into the darkness but couldn't see anything. Suddenly, one of the friends let out a scream as a large creature burst out of the bushes and attacked him. The creature was unlike anything they had ever seen before. It was half man, half animal, with long, sharp claws and glowing red eyes. It snarled and lunged at them, causing them to scatter in terror. They ran for what felt like hours, trying to put as much distance between themselves and the creature as possible. But it seemed to be always just one step behind them, its haunting howls echoing through the desert. Eventually, the group stumbled upon a small cabin in the middle of nowhere. It was old and run down, but it offered some protection from the creature that was chasing them. They barricaded themselves inside, but the creature didn't give up. It circled the cabin, howling and scratching at the doors and windows. They could hear its breathing, heavy and labored, as it tried to find a way in. As the night wore on, the group began to realize that the Skinwalker was not just a legend. It was real, and it was after them. They huddled together, their hearts racing, as they waited for the creature to make its next move. But as dawn broke, the howling stopped, and the creature disappeared. The group of friends breathed a collective sigh of relief and decided to make a run for it. They sprinted across the desert, their adrenaline pumping, until they stumbled upon a small village. They told the villagers what had happened, and to their surprise, the villagers didn't seem surprised at all. They told the friends about the Skinwalker and how it had been terrorizing their village for years. They warned the group not to venture into the desert again, lest they fall victim to the creature's wrath. The friends left the village, shaken and scared, but still determined to get to the bottom of the legend. They did some research and discovered that the Skinwalker was said to be a witch or sorcerer who had the ability to transform into any animal it desired. They also learned that the Skinwalker was said to be incredibly powerful, able to manipulate the minds of its victims and cause them to do its bidding. They realized that they had been lucky to escape with their lives. As they continued their investigation, they stumbled upon an old cave deep in the desert. It was dark and foreboding, with strange symbols etched into the walls. They knew they had to investigate further. As they delved deeper into the cave, they saw something that made their blood run cold. There, in the center of the cave, was a figure shrouded in darkness. Its eyes glowed with an otherworldly light, and it let out a low, guttural growl as the group approached. They froze in terror, unsure of what to do next. The figure began to transform, its body twisting and contorting until it became a grotesque, half-human, half-animal hybrid. It was the Skinwalker. The creature lunged at them, its razor-sharp claws slashing through the air. The group fought back with all their might, but it was no use. The Skinwalker was too powerful. One by one, the friends fell to the creature's claws. They screamed in agony as the Skinwalker tore into them, its eyes glowing with a demonic energy. As the last of the group fell, the Skinwalker let out a triumphant howl. It had claimed its latest victims and would continue to terrorize the desert for years to come. The legend of the Skinwalker had turned out to be all too real, and the terrifying truth behind the myth had claimed yet another group of unsuspecting victims. In the days and weeks that followed, the villagers would tell tales of the group of college students who had ventured into the desert and never returned. They would warn others not to make the same mistake and to stay far away from the Skinwalker's domain. But for those who had witnessed the creature's power firsthand, the memory of that fateful night would haunt them forever. They knew that the Skinwalker was out there, waiting for its next victims to come along. The legend of the Skinwalker had been passed down through generations, but it was only now that people were starting to realize the terrifying truth behind the myth. The creature was real, and it was more powerful and dangerous than anyone had ever imagined. For those who dared to venture into the desert, they would do so at their own risk. The Skinwalker was out there, lurking in the shadows, waiting to strike again. And those who encountered it would soon learn the horrifying truth behind the legend of the Skinwalker. As the night draws to a close, we bid farewell to the terrors that haunted us and the spine-tingling tales that kept us on the edge of our seats. Remember, the darkness may linger, but the dawn always brings a new light. Until next time, stay safe, stay curious, and never stop exploring the mysteries of the unknown.